Leo, welcome to May 2020. Leo, in this video we're going to talk about an important aspect that is going to get previewed in the month of May, but it will fully play out in 2021. We'll talk about your career, we'll talk about your home and family life, because that is the axis that is getting activated by both this aspect of 2021 as well as the full moon that is happening on 7th of May. More importantly, we're going to talk about a beautiful, beautiful cosmic smile, a very positive aspect that is happening between 15th to 17th of May in your house of career. We have a few good days in the middle of this volatility, which we are going to take advantage of. So let's dig in. I introduced all of this in the introductory video of May. Now we'll dig into your sign. So Leo, for you, the month of May and Taurus season overall is excellent to infuse fresh energy, fresh impetus, fresh ideas into your career. This is the time when you're sort of in the spotlight when it comes to your work, or your internal sense of duty is enhanced at this time. It's the time to make an impact when it comes to your career. It's the time when you'll feel like either proceeding to a new job or change the way you do work, or there will be higher respect and focus on the work that you're doing. It's the time when you might be working within some existing structure. You are a sign that likes to have a consistent structure of work. But what's happened since 2018 is that Uranus has entered your house of career, your house of work, and it is going to stay there for a long period of time. It's a 7-year cycle which fully began in March of 2019. Uranus just dabbled in 2018 in your house of career, only to fully enter that house in March of 2019, and it will stay there till 2026. What happens when Uranus comes? And Uranus is a planet of brilliance, it's a planet of independence, it's a planet of lightning bolt. Whichever house it enters, we become driven to make a shift in that part of our life. And this is a critical axis for you. This is the top of your chart. Independence and need for freedom will sort of become your middle name. It depends on when Uranus is exactly hitting your degrees, when it comes on your exact midheaven, which is the point of career. But in general, all Leos would have already started feeling this high vibration within their soul to set free when it comes to any authority figures, not just work. This is the house of authority figures. You want to be independent in your career. You want to be independent in your life. You want to set free. You want to chart your own course over here. This is a time when freelancing is given birth to. People want to do independent things in media, in tech, in politics, in humanitarian activities, in financial activities. They want to stand on their own 2 feet. You want to contribute something unique creatively, something progressive to the society. This is where we do not want what we do for life to be ordinary. We want innovation. We want to be a force for change. We don't want to work under anybody's authority. So in the season of Taurus, which we are currently in, Uranus gets even more activated because Uranus is in Taurus. So when Sun enters Taurus, Mercury, Venus, these personal planets, they enter Taurus, which they are in right now, all the way till 20th of May, you feel this high vibration and push to begin again. So many of you, depending on your degrees, especially the early degree Leos, might have already shifted some part of their careers. Early degree Leos, in the sense the first 10 degrees of Leos. And if you're a Leo sun born in July, you might be feeling this very strongly on a physical level, where you might have already detached from your old way of being in terms of your career. Uranus sort of recreates your whole external persona, and the aim is single. It wants you to be authentic. It wants you to be free, to have freedom. It wants Leos to lead and not follow. So in your personal life or in your professional life, if you are under any kind of hard-hitting traditional authority, it will bring about changes. In fact, you'll see it even if you stick to the same job, you'll find your boss keeps changing or your role keeps changing. There's a volatility that is added even if we don't physically on on our own change the job, because the work needs to have more space for your inventive and idealistic side. It needs to have bandwidth to accommodate who you truly are. This is a time when we sort of want to not care about how we are looked at by others. We want to just be us. We want to be authentic. There's new radical ideas. You want to chase them in concrete ways. New businesses. You don't want to be under a boss. And this is the time when we break free from tradition. You normally like to have a traditional and fixed job, which is lucrative. We have a reputation of sense of duties as Leos. You're financially skilled. You have appreciation for finer things. You are in jobs which are known to be lucrative, or you like to go for the jobs that are known to be lucrative. You like to be a leader in arts, in finance, in banking, in beauty, in wealth related areas, in lifestyle choices, in natural resources, and farming and gardening. These are the fields of Taurus, which is your house of career. But what happens is that even though you might continue these professions, you don't want to do them in the traditional way. Stability goes out of the window. You want long lasting changes in your career, which you will embark upon as soon as Uranus comes within 2 degrees of your midheaven. So, looking at your chart, if you know how to read your chart, or just if you know whether you're early degree Leo or not, you might already be feeling that, or you'll continue to feel it over the course of next couple of years. But most of you, because the first touchdown is so strong, you would have already felt this from last year. And that gets woken up every time Taurus season, like right now, happens. But this doesn't just affect your career. This doesn't just strive for freedom in your career. The opposite house of home and family is also activated by Uranus. You want freedom in your home and family as well. That is even more tricky, I believe, because you have Scorpio in your house of home and family. Scorpio is all about power. It's about control. Family has control over you in some way. Parents, mother, or landed property, fixed assets, they attract you. They keep you in a place. So there is an opposition between your need for security and the way your family obligations are, or the way you sort of are deeper in relationship with your family in some ways, which is quite deep, but it has control underlying to it. That sort of also is opposed by this need for freedom. So there's a clear opposition, and this opposition will come into focus with the full moon that is happening on 7th of May, which will affect you for 2 weeks starting from 7th of May. So from 7th of May to 22nd of May, something in your home and family can come into focus that requires your attention, and this balance or lack of balance between career and home and family life will come to focus. Both of them will require your attention, and you would be seeking freedom in both of them. So this is a very, very positive and soothing full moon. It has Neptune positively aspecting it, provided we manage the balance between the two, or we are aware of the push and the pull that will play on those dates in your life, especially 6th, 7th, 8th of May. You'll feel this very strongly. There could be a messaging that happens with your mother or with a person in family, some information that was hidden below the surface, because Scorpio is everything below the surface, can come to light. Something that was hidden can come to light. Something that you did not know can come to light when it comes to your home and family. It could be a family secret. It could be a discussion with family. It could be something in your place of living that you did not know. There could be a plumbing issue. There could be an issue with water. There could be a issue with sewage system, something underground which you did not know that there was a issue below the surface that needs to be purged, that needs to be handled, that needs to be closed off. Something will take your attention over there. A cleansing, a cleaning of home and family sector is required, which will happen as a part of this very healing full moon, because after that you will feel fabulous by purging it, by getting it out in the open. There could be an old family issue, there could be a past issue, there could be a trauma issue with family, there could be a reconciliation, a healing that is required in family, with your parents, with your siblings. You sort of forgive and just move on. There is some soul searching and then cutting the cord, because Scorpio is all about purging out, detoxing from your life, from your body. So what is left is healthier. So there could be something related to that, and there could be something related to actual real estate that might come to focus. There could be a rental discussion, there could be a financial discussion when it comes to home and family, the family property or your rental or the loan on your property. That could come into focus, and that needs to be discussed. My guidance for 6th, 7th, and 8th of May is that those are not great days for business discussions, because the underpinning of any discussions on these dates will be very emotional. These will be very emotionally charged days, because Mercury, the planet of mind and thinking, will be opposing this emotional full moon. So the discussions will come with an emotional undertone. It's a very good time to get something out and open when it comes to personal relationships. Some sort of even professionally, and we'll see that in global events as well, some inadvertent information leaks will happen as well. Some sort of secrets without intention will come out. But that's not how we proactively want to use that full moon. We want to use that full moon to get over something, to emotionally get something out of the way. So personal relationship healing is very good. Do not use these dates for professional healing, to have a discussion with the boss, to have a discussion with somebody at work. You want to actually just avoid altogether having a career or a work related discussion on 6th, 7th, and 8th especially. These are not good days. These are sensitive dates. These are very, very healing and regenerative and soulful dates. There is a sort of a healing from purging something that will come. But you'll have to be in your home. You'll have to be with your family. You'll be healing by creating a healthy environment in your home and family at that time. Let's talk about the square now. What is happening in 2021 is that Saturn is going to square Uranus. Saturn is in your house of relationships. That's another reason why your personal life might feel a little bit heavy now, and it might have been feeling heavy since March when Saturn entered here. Since 21st of March, Saturn entered your house of relationships, partnerships. There is more responsibility that comes on your shoulder when that happens with respect to your partnerships, professional and personal. You sort of have more people demand more of you. People demand a lot out of you when this happens. This happens once in 28 and a half years. So it's a very, very rare transit and a very impactful transit that happens. So for 2.5 years, we have Saturn in your house of partnerships, and it's going to reform your partnerships. It will reform the very structure of how you connect with other people, what are the boundaries that you have or lack thereof of boundaries with other people, and it will reform who stays or doesn't stay in your life as well as a partner. There'll be a test of strength of your relationships, whether they stand the true test of reliability during this time. So there will be some relationships which will get released over this period of 2.5 years, depending on when Saturn makes an exact contact with your 7th house. That's the time when you might see some releases happening. And Uranus making a square with Saturn throughout 2021 will help you release some karmic relationships where the karma is done, and those relationships are just making you not move forward, not helping you move forward. People will need more support from you. It's the time when you learn where to say no. You learn during this Saturn retrograde itself. On 11th of May, Saturn will go retrograde till about September. During this period of May, mid-May to September, you'll create new boundaries in place with other people, professionally, personally. Where did I say yes? Where I should have said no to people? And it will come through a bit of pressure around 11th of May. It's possible that you might feel the pressure of other people. You might already be feeling that because Saturn is standing still, putting pressure, demanding more of you when it comes to other people. So, do you give up your own interest? Do you give up your control when you are with other people, when other people demand more of you? We expand understanding of what our behavior is through others with Saturn here. We learn other people actually, the relationships actually become our teachers here. Saturn is a planet of teaching. It teaches us. It teaches us how to get efficient. It teaches us how to create the right boundaries, the right structure of relationships here. So through interaction, so the key over here is not to avoid people, it is to learn how to handle relationships. And you will not be able to avoid people. Saturn is karma. It will keep on bringing people who will demand things from you because it wants you to learn how to say no to them, how to draw healthy boundaries, how to have control over your own time and resources when you are sharing your life with others. And with Uranus making a square, and you might already feeling that you're getting a preview of that, you would not want to give in to that control. Uranus is freedom. You're sort of striving to set free. And this wanting to set free in your career and in your personal life is being opposed by having some sort of responsibility or karma in your personal life or in your relationships. And it's like, think of Saturn in your relationship house like a teacher, right? And like a harsh parent over there. As soon as you learn the lesson, that issue ceases to exist. As soon as we learn the lesson of Saturn on handling other people, it sort of becomes lighter by itself. It also will become lighter because of some of detoxing of relationships out of your life. If the person's karma or the teaching or the usefulness of that person in your life from karma perspective, from learning perspective, from adding to you from a growth perspective is over, then you would have to sort of release that relationship. Because it's the time when you are taught to think about yourself in a joint relationship and not lose yourself. There is a separatedness which comes in where Saturn is, and to some extent Saturn in Aquarius is about detachment as well. It's a air sign. It is like surgically we are able to cut karma with certain people who are not really adding to you in some ways. There has to be the relationships have to be on a fair, equal and a fair give and take basis. So if there are relationships that are not on that basis, you would first learn to how to voice those things out. You learn how to say those things out. And Venus retrograde between 13th of May till about 25th of June. So 13th of May to 25th of June, Venus, the planet of love and relationship, is retrograde as well. During this period, you will learn how to voice some of these things. You learn how to ask for your worth when it comes to relationships. And if that doesn't work, or that even despite that things don't work, there will be, in my view, significant release of relationships where equality does not exist. But at the same time, Saturn over here creates solid relationship. We find our soulmates. We find the people who are our friends, who are our soulmate here. We solidify the relationships that are stable, that are for us, that are lucrative, that are gainful. Aquarius is the sign of gains. I spoke about this in detail from career perspective in my 2020 and beyond video. I'll link the video below, because this is your house which will become the source of next 20 years of abundance for you. Knowing how to handle other people will become a significant part of your growth. You'll be pushed to seek a more public role here, where you're able to handle people. You will not be satisfied by limiting your resources to one person. You would want to share your talent with much wider audience in some way. You want to play a bigger role in society. And for that, a social identity needs to be developed. And that social identity is not a loner. That is not a person who does not interact with people because the relationships feel heavy. That person goes through this test to learn how to become a social identity. You learn to be more direct, even confrontational to some extent in relationships. Aquarius is a sign of rebel. And Uranus is going to support you over there. You will objectively state what you want in relationships, and you learn to do that. There'll be a growth in power, your power. If you've been giving your power away, you will feel, and you'll see that in the eyes of other people who are interacting with you. They'll see a side of you they have not seen before, because this is an emotional growth cycle, a significant threshold. Saturn, for more than a decade, has been transiting the lower half of your chart. Now it's going to transit the upper half of your chart. This is a significant threshold that happens when from being an inward person, we become an outward person. When from our learning being, or our usefulness, our sort of authority being limited to our family, or sort of our growth cycle was more of inner growth for the last many years. Now it becomes the time to come up the threshold, to interact with people in the society. So this is sort of that, this 2.5 years is sort of that transition where you'll be learning to, through your actions and communication, ask for equality in relationships, fairness in relationships, facing issues head on, no walking around them when it comes to relationship. You'll learn to stand up for yourself. You'll not, if there are things that are there as an issue, clear issues in your relationship, you'll learn not to pretend. You learn not to sort of brush them over, that they don't exist. In fact, you will not even try this. This will naturally happen. You might already be feeling it. The things that used to not irritate you sometimes about other people, or sort of, feel, why is this person behaving like that? You suddenly start feeling that more. You'll start noticing the behavior of others a lot more. There will be no walking around the issues, no pretending that the issue doesn't exist. Similarly, in your work relationships, you learn the art of creative delegation, how to bring people together to help you execute your task. Aquarius is a sign of bringing people together. You'll work better in your professional life if you learn how to bring the skill set of different people together to help you in your job. This is the house of creative delegation. So your gains will depend on your ability to creatively delegate stuff. Where when I say creatively delegate, by not looking like you're imposing yourself on other person, we are giving credit to others who are supporting us, who are bringing this thing together with us. It is teaching you the importance of relationships in your life. It is teaching you how to contribute to, how to make the relationships contribute to your growth instead of becoming an impediment to your growth. It is teaching you methods to deal with relationship, how to deal with critics, how to deal with friction in relationship. It is teaching you importance of competition and how competition can sometimes be a source of inspiration. It teaches you to see the world from the eye of the other person who's with you in the relationship. It teaches you to have honesty in relationship, and these are the things that I am sure you already practice. But when Saturn is here, this is like a steep learning curve which happens because after 28 and a half years, for many of us, that is first or second time in our working lifetime. For most of us, it's the last time in our working lifetime. So this happens like once in our working lifetime that we get this kind of growth opportunity as well as the pressure that comes with it. It teaches you how to set realistic expectations when it comes to your delivery to other people, not to overpromise what you need to submit to your partners, to your bosses, to your relationships. This is the time when you'll set realistic expectation in terms of what you want out of others as well. The issues of rights, of justice, of equality in relationships and partnerships will come up. And we learn to deal with all of that. We learn to deal with adversaries. We learn to deal with people at work and in our life who are critical of us as well. And as Uranus squares this house of all of this learning, this is a time when you'll have to manage this inner tension that you'll feel while trying to do the right thing. Uranus is going to make you impulsive. It will make you sort of I'm leaving this discussion. Uranus is I'm leaving this discussion. Saturn is we got to resolve it in a mature fashion and come to the right boundaries and the right the right agreement with the other person. So there's a conflict between the stability and the volatility that you will feel. There's a natural conflict between these two houses, conflict between relationship and career, which these two planets will increase in 2021. And you'll already be experiencing that right now. While you're trying to completely revamp your career because Uranus is in your house of career. You want to have a brilliant career, you want to have a unique career, you want to have an independent career, and you want to do all of it today or yesterday. You are in a hurry for it. So the relationship time or the time for close relationship reduces when that happens. There's a conflict between your ability to dedicate time to reform relationships while you're trying to work on a unique career. You would have a issue and the conflict can work the other way around. You have some relationship issues. You have some burdens, some karmic relationships that you are sort of giving all your effort to. And because of that, you cannot maybe change careers. Maybe you need to stay in a stable job because of that, because you need the money to be able to perform those duties. You would another way it can play out is that you're not able to have a stable relationship due to an unstable job that you're going for. Maybe you're going for a startup, and that means that finding a long-term partner is difficult. So there's a conflict between a volatile career and need to have a stable relationship on a one-on-one basis. And you'll find this conflict, which is an inner tension, both the source of creativity and brilliance as well as the source of inner tension. But every square is a driving force. It's like you'll be able to create a unique job which is lucrative in nature because you need to also make sure that your partner is with you, sort of, that your partner or your mother or your stable relationship in your house is taken care of. You'll try to add innovativeness in your career because you have stabilized your relationships. So you have to find the harmonious portion of bringing these two together. You'll have to find a way to make the best out of this conflict, and the people who are able to harness this tension to to sort of get the best of both sides will be the winners in this conflict in 2021. This and we'll see that play out, as I said in the Saturn and Uranus video, we'll see that play out on the global events. There will be volatility and there will be need for rules and regulations. The people who are able to innovate within the rules that will be set up as a result of the new world we are moving into, they will be the winners of this. We will find some sort of, you might experience some issues with mother over here, because this is the Uranus is in your house of mother. There could be control issues over there, or traditional issues over there, and it can interfere in your relationships with others. It can affect in having an effective relationship with your partner, with your marriage partner, or a close one-on-one relationship. You may not be able to spend time with them because of your obligation or just issues with mother or whosoever is the authority in your life of the two parents. But as I said, bring the two things together. Forming a stable partnership with your partner can help you have a good social status. They can help you, support you in your career growth. They can help you, support you in the career shift that you're trying to make. A strong one-on-one relationship with a friend, with somebody who's close to you, having a peaceful home, having a peaceful relationship with others can help you experiment more in your career. It can help you have an entrepreneur career. It can similarly, shifting and innovative ways of working or not following a 9 to 5 can give you time to work in your relationships. So innovation and work can help you in stability in relationships, and stability in relationships can help you have more innovation at work. The two conflicting sides can become biggest nurturer of each other as well if we apply this aspect in the right way. Let me talk very briefly about health here. Jupiter, as I mentioned, it has entered your house of health this year. It has also entered your house of work here. So this is the house of work and health where Jupiter is there. Jupiter expands whatever area of your life it touches. Last 2.5 years, when Saturn was in your house of health, I had been telling you to be careful about your health for the last 2.5 years. And many of you might have completely changed or revamped the way they handled their health in the last 2.5 years. Now, with Jupiter in your house of health, Jupiter is a beneficiary. It gives you benefit. It can bring some positive shifts in your health if you sort of put effort into it. There could be a very positive and high motivation to get healthy, get things in order when it comes to your day-to-day chores, and sort of, this is where you can make a very positive shift. And Jupiter will be standing stationary in your house of home and health around 14th of May. So when Jupiter is standing still, it becomes very, very strong and effective. It normally gives something. It normally gives us something positive to go with. So there is something that can come across which is positive when it comes to your career or health around 14th of May. And this will happen, in my view, around the cosmic smile. Cosmic smile is Jupiter, Venus, and Moon aligning in a smile in the sky on 16th of May. This is something to observe. You might want to look at the sky on 16th of May. It will be beautiful. Moon will be crescent, and Jupiter and Venus will be the eyes of that smiling face. On that day, 16th and 17th of May, Jupiter is meeting Sun. There could be a very positive turnaround that can happen in your career, some sort of support coming through. But Jupiter is going retrograde. So what happens is Jupiter gives us a sort of an avenue of expansion. Maybe a project is given to you which can be very good for your career. Maybe a authority figure shift happens because Uranus is in your house of career. Some shift can happen. Your boss changes, the authority changes, or the company you are in changes, or your job changes, and some positive news comes in that direction around that time. Now, it doesn't mean that all of you will start a new job, but something positive in way of discussion, and you'll start sort of getting the news of it from 9th or 10th of May itself, when Mercury is meeting Jupiter and Pluto as well. Some sort of conversation on 9th or 10th of May, which is positive in nature, which results in a positive movement around 15th or 16th of May, that helps you in your career and could be a very good time to improve your health in some way. If there's a pesky habit, you've been wanting to release something, you've been looking to detox something, it's the time when you can just cut the cord with it and it can be easy for you. You could sort of, just purge something out of your life. And the full moon that is happening on 7th of May is prompting as well towards that. It's a purge, it's a full moon of purging something. So apart from a positive news on your career, something between 16th or 17th of May could be very good on your health. That can happen. Maybe some health issue, you discover what is the issue and how to resolve it. But Jupiter goes retrograde, which means that it starts walking back from where it came over the course of last couple of months. When Jupiter goes retrograde, we are left with that opportunity to work on our own. So say a project is given to you, authority figure says, this is great, go ahead with it. Or somebody tells you, yeah, there's a job opportunity, I'm hearing about it, maybe you'll be a good fit. Some initial information or positive news or a gift is given to us in the house of health and career, project, work environment, something positive happening in work environment. And then Jupiter says, I'll leave you with it to add to it, add your personal color to it, add your on your own impetus growth to it. So the external support on that project will pause till September. You'll have to work by yourself on that gift to embellish it, to grow it. Because you sort of take a step back to figure out, is this the project I want to work in? What is the direction? Is this the job I want to work in? What is the way to work on it? All of those things you'll figure out on your own. It's like something comes through, but it is put on pause for you to work behind the scene for next couple of months till September. And this is something which is not, Jupiter doesn't harm us when it goes retrograde, just that the growth happens without support or influence of other people during this time. So between 14th of May till about 12th of September is when Jupiter will be retrograde, when I believe you might be working on something like that. And it's going retrograde at around 27 degrees. So people who are born around, I would say, 19th of August would feel this very, very strongly. If you're born around 19th of August, couple of days before and after, would feel this very strongly. Something just comes through, some positive news comes through, and then you're like, okay, where's the formal email on that? Where's the follow-up on that? This is great. But then you're left by your own impetus to work on it with that momentum. And it could be through a career change, it could be through a change of the boss, it could be a project coming through, something positive in work especially. This is especially true for work, I believe, because it's forming a positive aspect with your work house, with your house of public reputation, career, authority figures. So something can come through over there. Look forward to that. It's one of those few days which are positive for us, 9th or 10th of May or 15th to 17th of May. Then lastly, Venus will go retrograde in your house of relationships, in your house of friends, network. It's going to teach you how to voice in your relationships. Do you say what you truly mean? I'll talk about all of this in detail in separate video because it's going to become too long if I cover here. But just keep in mind that when you sort of are being challenged in ego or in honor by others, you're learning how to respond well to it, how to speak your mind in it, not avoiding it, not moving away from it. When there is too much work or hard work that comes because of your career pressure, you're learning how to balance that with your need to maintain your close relationship. The relationships that truly matter will stay with you and you will nurture them even if you have high pressure of work during this time. And with that, you would realize which relationships truly matter to you. How you fight some of these personal relationship battles, how you handle some of these personal relationship battles, will contribute to your external life, will contribute to your professional life, because it's sort of the skill set that you're learning through experience in your personal life to handle the professional situations efficiently as well. It will support you over there. So that's what I have for you, Leo. Good luck, and I'll see you in the next season now. Thank you. Good luck.